Spoštovani gledalci, lepo pozdravljeni. Danes imamo na naši televiziji gosta Iwoma Benderjem iz Poljske, ki je predstavnik največje svetovne katoliške televizije EWTN, EWTN. Iwo, hello. Torej, največja televizija v svetu, the biggest TV station, Catholic TV station in whole world is EWTN. And you are the responsible for
all the former socialist countries. And I apologize to all the viewers. I understand quite a bit of Slovenian, but I still have to learn to speak, so forgive me, I will be speaking in English. And yes, my responsibility stretches from Slovenia to Latvia in the northeast, so all the old satellite countries of the Soviet Union.
And now you are in Slovenia to make a visit to our TV station. How you see our TV station? Yeah. Is great.
Yes, of course.
Your EWTN.
Well, of course, the size is different. EWTN was started in 1981 with $200 by a cloistered nun, Mother Angelica, and it took her quite a while. But now it is available in some 150 countries. And of course, Exodus was started 5 years ago.
5 years
ago.
Yes.
So
you have almost 2 million.
You have almost 2 million. So the pace is good. Yeah. You need 20 more years, and you will be in 100 countries. So I'm keeping you in my prayers. But I think for the 5 years now you're able to reach almost every home in Slovenia, which is I think a great achievement. So yes, I'm very impressed. And also in many countries in our region there is no Catholic television, and in many countries in our region Catholic television stations are only being built now. So you have already 5 years of experience, and there is a very bright road ahead.
Thank you very much. We receive from your TV station a lot of program, and we are very thankful for those programs. Our viewers know this series. I may ask you what you have now, something new of program on EWTN.
Oh, well, there is always something new. Before the canonization of John Paul II, we finished a documentary in which 2 English journalists look at the places connected with John Paul II's youth, especially in the south of Poland. I think it's an interesting English perspective on the Polish and Slavic Pope. But also I think the viewers here will enjoy the cooking show with Father Leo, which is very popular everywhere where EWTN is, and it connects very practical and easy cooking advice for good meals with a very spiritual and Catholic message.
Always is something new on EWTN.
We're trying as much as we can, yes?
Yes, we could also congratulate you about your success to be world Catholic TV station. And you have now your TV stations and the program for whole world?
Yes.
Or are you missing some continents maybe?
Well, it all started in the United States, in the state of Alabama, which has probably about 2% Catholics.
Only?
Yes, and it was started by a poor Clare sister, a cloistered sister, so it's obvious that it had to be a success. So now it has grown to the entire North American continent. Then there is a Spanish 24-hour version for all of South America. There is also full-time German version. Excuse me, it's a little cold today. There is a German version. There is Asian version. There is African version. There is also an English-Irish version. So also, it is available in Ukrainian, in about 20 cities in Ukraine, and indeed, the East Central Europe is. Excuse me. East Central Europe is now a place where a lot of work is being done to bring EWTN and EWTN programming to as many viewers as we possibly can, and that's why we're also very grateful to you, Father Zoran, for hosting our shows and making it possible for the viewers here in Slovenia to watch EWTN programming. So we're trying to be as global as we can. Now you can see EWTN in about 150 countries.
You are also seen in our country, in Slovenia, through Seoul, I think.
That's
so.
true.
Or maybe in other also cable operators?
I think the largest one is Seoul, and there is another one.
Telemach?
No, the name just escaped me.
Okay.
But I can also say that if any
Amis.
in
Amis
yes,
is
in Amis,
connection
of course, yes,
with
yes,
Seoul, yes.
yes, and of course I can always recommend that if any viewers here would like to watch EWTN, the English version of EWTN, so you can practice your English and learn about your faith, then you can call your cable operator and ask, if Seoul and Amis is carrying EWTN. Maybe you can call them and ask them to carry EWTN. So I hope you don't mind the friendly competition, Father.
Okay.
Thank you, William.
So, I think this is very interesting that the world only one TV station, Catholic TV station, was established from a single nun.
Yes.
And very poor nun.
Yes.
Without money.
Yes.
And our God is a God of impossible.
Yes, this is a saying of Mother Angelica's. She is very fond of repeating that we should attempt the ridiculous so that God can perform the miraculous. So, and many times, if you look at her biography, she was in a completely hopeless situation, and each time somehow she managed to build and expand, and not just television, but she also introduced a very large radio network. In fact, if you're in the United States, EWTN radio is probably one of the most easiest one to catch when you're driving through the deserts of Arizona. Really? It is in so many places. Yeah.
I found this very amazing about her, and now she is alive. She's
yes, she's
very ill.
She's over 90 years old, but
over 90.
She has been very ill for about 10 years now. She's cared for by her sisters of her order of Poor Clares, and I think this is also one of the most important elements of EWTN, because it is not just a television station and about 300 people who work for it. It is also almost 40 nuns, cloistered nuns, who are not just taking care of the ill Mother Angelica, but they're also praying for the station and the viewers and the mission that it carries. And I think it is one of the most important factors that in some way, and probably the most important way, contributes to the growth of EWTN.
You are traveling around the world, and also especially in your Eastern Europe how you find now the Catholic faith? How are the believers in our former socialist countries? How is growing their faith, or are we facing a drop of faith or something?
It is very difficult to answer that in one sentence, because it depends on the countries and their traditions and their situation. You know, there are countries that traditionally had a Catholic majority, like Slovenia, Croatia, Lithuania, Slovakia, Poland, Hungary, and in each country the situation is different. But of course, I think that for many reasons, you know, during the communist era, our faith was extremely important for us to stay sane and free inside. But for the same reason, it was basically enough to say to yourself, I'm Catholic, therefore I am against this madness of communism, and that was enough. Now we are free. We have many other options, and we have to now look inside and try to make our faith deeper. And I think if you generally look at our societies, maybe some people now who are only, so to speak, cultural Catholics took a step back and are, you know, exploring many options that the modern Western world offers them. But I think a lot of people are also taking a certain step inside to build their own personal faith. And for instance, in Poland, it's interesting that the number of people who attend Sunday Mass dropped just a bit, but the number of people taking Holy Communion increased. So there is no single answer to your question, but I think, you know, I can say that throughout history, the Church had much greater crises than what we have today. So I have no worries.
Nice. What we could say also about Catholic media in the world, because we both know that no one TV station is established by bishops, or maybe almost. How is with this new modern era of evangelization, because the Pope, your Saint Pope, John Paul II, and all popes in this time, and the new Pope, Francis, always taught us that we have to use the modern media. How you see this question? This is so a little answer on this.
Well, Father, until 10 years ago, to establish a television station, you really had to gather a lot of capital, millions in any currency. With the modern technology developing so quickly, some of the equipment that used to cost millions now costs thousands. It's still a lot of money, but it is much less. So that means that in many countries there are Catholic lay and religious people who are, and it depends on different country how it exactly is, who are building new Catholic media, and especially Catholic television stations. You know, there is a new Catholic TV station in Hungary, TV Bonum. hopefully very soon we will have one in Croatia. You have pioneered the Catholic television business in Slovenia. There is a very strong Catholic TV station even in the Czech Republic. Of course, there is a Catholic TV station in Poland. In Ukraine, EWTN is being translated into Ukrainian, and it serves the about 10% Catholics who live in Ukraine. So it is now easier and easier. Now, also with the internet, and also with the way in which internet and television slowly become one medium, yeah, it's going to be easier and easier. We just have to be able to not be afraid, as John Paul used to say, and go into the deep and use these opportunities, which are becoming easier and easier to grasp and use it in a good way. So I'm very optimistic about the Catholic media, and as we look at the media landscape, you can see that the Catholic media are growing in almost every part of the world.
You supply our region television stations with your program, but you are working also such as some connector of those TV stations and try to help them in many ways. You see. What is this your the second mission to be such a connector?
Well, you know, Father, if one thing, of course, is to spread the word about EWTN and offer its programming, which is really mostly about the faith, and it's mostly catechetic or formational. Or apologetic. These would be the three areas
Yes.
of using the theological language. But as I visit various countries of our region, you see that different, again, lay and religious people have different experiences in the media, and some of them are more advanced in this area, some of them are more advanced in another area, some of them are looking for something that can be found somewhere else. So I'm trying as much as I can to make those connections, and I think that all of us benefit from that, because we do make a certain particular type of community that should get to know one another as best as possible in order to provide our viewers the best possible Catholic television we can produce.
Some very influenced people in German in area of media say that EWTN is too much Catholic. It's almost more Catholic than the Pope and Vatican. What could you say on this opinion of those some people in German? I met them.
Well, everyone is entitled to their own opinion. I don't think you can be too Catholic, especially if we look and remember what the word Catholic actually means. Yeah? It means common. Yeah? Well, the truth is that EWTN was founded by a nun who had a great understanding of the scripture, of the tradition of the church, and of the teaching of the church. She was a great friend of Saint John Paul, and Saint John Paul was also a great friend of hers. They thought along very similar lines. So if John Paul II was too Catholic for someone, then I guess EWTN is also too Catholic. But I can only smile and say thank you if you say that.
Now you are here in Slovenia. From where you are coming in this, and then where are you going? You are like a Holy Spirit, you know.
Father, I don't know that.
We don't know from where it's coming and where it's going.
Let's not get too far. Well, I'm coming from Zagreb.
I'm from Zagreb.
Yes. So I
will go back to Zagreb.
I'm going back to Zagreb. Yes, it's complicated because I live in Warsaw in Poland, and to get to, because during the summer, you know, there are those flights directly to to Croatia, but not during the spring. So I had to fly through Munich, then to Zagreb, then drive to Maribor, and then we will go to Ljubljana, and from Ljubljana back to Zagreb, then to Zadar, then to Split, then back to Poland through Vienna. So it's a complicated trip, but you know, I'm not complaining.
And you have been now in Ukraine, or I have heard.
I try to go to Ukraine as much as I can. Last year I was 3 times in Ukraine. I plan to go there as soon as I can. All we can say is that it's a very complicated situation. It's very dangerous, and we have to remember that in the events that are now taking place in Ukraine, faith started to be very important again, you know, because it was a country that was really, literally decimated by communism. You know? It was up to 10 million Ukrainians died in the Great Hunger that was artificially created by Stalin, known as the Holodomor, in the 1930s. In 1930s.
In the line of Lenin.
No, it was under Stalin, 1930s. Yeah, and then the atheization program was very strong. So those who kept the faith were extremely brave people in Ukraine. I mean, churches were being blown up with dynamite as late as 1970s in Ukraine. What they did to priests and to the faithful, I mean, there are so many martyrs there. So the religion was really all but destroyed in Ukraine. And during the events of Maidan in Kiev, not many people noticed, but on the stage where there were speeches, there was a statue of Our Lady of Fatima.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And depending on who you ask, the numbers they give are different, but thousands of rosaries were distributed among the demonstrators. So that is the part of the Ukrainian crisis that not many people are aware of. And the other side, when there were those bloody clashes in Kiev, and the riot police who were shooting the demonstrators who were captured by them, it was priests, both Catholic and Orthodox priests, who protected them from being lynched, because people obviously wanted revenge. But they respected Catholic and Orthodox priests hand in hand, protecting those who, of course, did horrible things, but they protected their lives from vengeance. So this is a picture of Ukraine that we don't often see in the media. So I'm glad you asked, Father, so that I could just give you a quick snippet, a view of the events there as they're developing. And I talk to our Ukrainian friends weekly, sometimes every day, to see what's going on. And well, we just need, all we can do really is pray for a good and peaceful resolution. But it's difficult. It's very difficult.
I met last year in Medjugorje, Ukrainian priest. Catholic priest, they're Uniats. They joined to Catholic Church, but they remain in their liturgy, Easter liturgy, and his wife was also there. And how are those Ukrainians now? They're truly Catholics. They accept everything. Rosary also. Rosary is not in the Orthodox Church known.
Well, so, yes, that's true.
And they are unique.
Yes. Well, there are 22 different rites in the Catholic Church. And Ukraine is it's a very complicated country. There are 3 Orthodox churches in Ukraine, 3 separate Orthodox and 2 Catholic. About 8% of Ukraine's population is it's called Ukrainian Catholic, or known previously as Uniate Catholic, and about 2% are Roman Catholic, or 3% more or less. And well, yes, if you don't know, they look like Orthodox priests. They usually have a beard. They have the different headdress, and but they since the 16th century, since the Union of Brest, they accept the Holy Father and all the dogmas of the Catholic Church, and yes, so indeed you could have someone who looks like an Orthodox priest who is saying the Rosary. Yes.
And they very happy may watch EWTN. No?
Yes, they do watch EWTN. Yeah, I know that some of them do. Yes.
Iwo, I have to ask you something, because you are a man of media. How is this that the persecuted Christians in the whole world could not enter in stream media, in world stream media? I think about million of Christians in Iraq. They have to flee out, and 500,000 now from Orthodox Syrian Christians also go out of their country, and there are tremendous persecutions of Christians also from Muslim world and others, maybe communist.
North Korea.
But in North Korea or China also. Yeah. And we have no informations about this. All those, also those Christian girls in Nigeria were Christians, and no man mentioned this.
Yes. Well, I think we live in the time of the still growing power of the so-called political correctness, and let's remember that the very term political correctness is a Stalinist term. Yeah? So for the Western world to embrace a Stalinist idea is rather shocking, and it's just politically incorrect to say good things about any religion, really, and especially Christianity. So I don't think we should be complaining, but we should just be building our media, that our voices and the voices especially of those of our brothers and sisters who are persecuted are heard. So that's why such endeavors as Exodus TV are so important, because if we do not talk about the martyrs of today, who will? So let's not complain, but continue doing what we're doing, and in a sense, because in the mainstream media there is so little about those horrible persecutions of Christians that happen really today in many places. In a sense, since they're not in the mainstream media, Catholic media now are an alternative to people who say, hold on, I heard that something horrible is going on in, say, North Korea, and they're not talking about it. So then they will turn to the media outlets like yours, Father, that talk about it. So in a sense, it gives us an opportunity to say, look, we tell the truth, how it develops, and we're not afraid of being called politically incorrect.
Have you maybe any words for our viewers, our TV station?
Well, all I can say is that I'm very happy to be here in Maribor in Slovenia. I'm looking forward to visiting Ljubljana for the first time in my life.
Really?
Yeah, I've never been to Ljubljana. I'm
big capital.
Yeah, I heard it's a beautiful city. So I'm very much looking forward, and I hope that that TV Exodus will grow, and I know that it is now an established player on the Slovenian television market and media market, and I hope that that the viewers will continue to appreciate your father's work, and hopefully see you soon.
Iwo, thank you very much.
Thank you, Father.
God bless you. Thank you.